Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing the answering your assumptions about me, reacting to them, reading them. I wasn't gonna do this video and then a couple of you asked me to do it, and then I actually watched some other people do it and I thought it was really fun and interesting. And then yesterday I asked you guys to send me your assumptions on Instagram. And it was a really interesting experience. Like, I wasn't expecting my emotional response. It's such a weird experience to just have other people send you things that they assume about you, things that they think are true, and some of them are, you know, false, and that made me feel kind of weird. And then some of them were really accurate, where I went, oh my god, you guys seem to really get me and know me, which is awesome. Some of them made me laugh. It was a much more, not emotional, but like a much more intense experience than I was expecting. So here we are. I'm going to be reading your assumptions about me, telling you guys if they are correct or not, basically. So I hope you're all doing well. It is a Monday today. This video is gonna go up on a Tuesday, so I hope you're all having a great start to your week, and let's get into it. Okay, the first one I'm gonna start with is your family is wealthy. I got a lot of these in different variations. I got you're really rich, you know, you're really wealthy, your parents are wealthy. I got, you know, your parents are really wealthy and you never had a problem growing up and you had everything given to you at all times, whatever you wanted. So I got a bunch of those, and to answer that assumption, my parents, not me, my parents are wealthy. They have worked really hard to create the life that they wanted to create for themselves and to create a life for their children as well that is, you know, a good life. And I'm super grateful to have really hardworking and loving parents at the same time. And for some reason I used to be, and sometimes I still can be, kind of embarrassed about the fact that my parents are so well off. And I don't know why that is. I think it's when people say, oh, you are so rich, you know, you have so much money. It's not me, it's my parents, you know. I didn't work for that money, and frankly, I don't have that money. I also got someone saying, you have a trust fund. I don't have a trust fund that I know of. And I think my parents always did a really good job at, you know, passing on values that weren't superficial, passing on really good values to my siblings and I. And also I got someone saying, you know, your parents are really wealthy, so you always got everything you wanted, you know, regardless of what it was. Not true either. In my childhood, there were plenty of things that I always wanted to have growing up. Like, I always wanted to get a Nintendo DS, like one of those small ones that you could flip up, and all of my friends had them, like everyone had them. And I never got one because my mom was like, no, that's not happening. I never got any designer stuff or anything like that. I think I definitely had a good childhood, and, you know, we were able to go on really amazing family vacations. I was lucky to always get presents for Christmas and my birthday, but I was never one of those kids that had like a credit card and a closet full of designer bags that my parents bought me. Like, that was just not how I grew up either. Right now, my parents are still supporting me financially, and even that I'm not embarrassed to say, but I guess I'm always scared of what other people are gonna say. And I've talked about this before. So basically they supported me in a way where I could pay for my rent and then part of my groceries, and that was it. And rent-wise, Kel and I live in a really small one-bedroom apartment. It's nothing luxurious, it's nothing big. And I just want to say as well that I know that this isn't the case for everyone, and I know that I'm extremely lucky, and I don't take that for granted, and I never have. The one thing with social media and working on here is that it's not, you know, it's not like a salary where you get paid the same thing every month or week or however it works. Or, you know, it's not like an hourly thing where you get paid X amount of money per hour. It's basically completely random. If you land a job, you land a job. If you don't, you don't. And so some months you make a lot of money, some months you could be making no money, and that's kind of the scary part of it. And that's why I always save a lot of my money. But even though that's a little bit scary, I feel like I am in a place where I can be financially independent, and I really want to be. So I don't want to like live off my parents, or, you know, I don't want them to be, you know, supporting me for the rest of my life. I want to become independent within the next couple of months, and that's something that I want to sit down with them and talk about. So yeah, that's basically the situation, I guess, summed up a lot of the assumptions. You have the perfect life, perfect boyfriend, and everything in between. I thought I would answer this one because it kind of, a couple of the assumptions tied in with this and the last one about my parents being wealthy, and that I always had like a really easy life and that nothing bad ever happened to me. I don't think anyone's life is perfect. I know that it's easy to assume that, especially with social media, and I think I assume that sometimes about other people. I am a very happy person generally. I'm in a great relationship. I have really good friends. I love my family. I love my parents and my siblings, and I do have a very like stable situation going on right now. I have a job that I love, so I am extremely blessed and lucky to have this life, and I'm really grateful and happy most of the time. But there are things that I deal with when it comes to my mental health, and things that I really struggle with, and I didn't want to cry in this because that's so lame. So yeah, there have been a couple of things in my life that, you know, have been really hard for me and have kind of just challenged my mental health a lot. And the one main thing happened just over 2 years ago, and some of you guys might know about this. My brother, I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm really protective of my family, and I never want them to feel like I'm sharing too much or that I am, you know, saying stuff for them when they're not around. But my brother had a really bad accident and he almost passed away, and okay. Yeah, it still affects me a lot because I genuinely thought that I was gonna lose him, and he was in a coma for a while, and we didn't know what was gonna happen, and we knew after a couple of days kind of that he, you know, was gonna make it, but I didn't know if he was, you know, gonna remember me or be in a wheelchair or, you know, whatnot. So I still really struggle with kind of not letting go of that, but just processing that, and I constantly am so scared that something like that's gonna happen again, not to him necessarily, but just to everyone around me that I love. And it's strange because you never think something like that's gonna happen to your family, and then it does, and you feel like you're in a movie. Like, I felt like I was in a movie, and it didn't even feel real. And looking back, I can just remember like blurs from those weeks. Like, there's so much that I just can't remember, and I kept those feelings of, you know, fear and just stress and trauma basically within me for a while, and then they kept coming up and I kept having panic attacks basically, and that's when I realized I can't deal with this on my own. I need to go to therapy. So I have been going to therapy for a couple of months, maybe half a year, and it's helped me so much. It's really, really hard. It's so much harder than I expected it to be, and it's really draining, but it's helped me a lot, and it has gotten a lot better, but there are still days where I get so incredibly sad over it, or I panic and think, oh my god, this is gonna happen again, or, you know, there's certain things that will trigger me. That term is so overused now, but it is correct in this instance. But yeah, I don't want to go on about this for too long because that's not what this video is about. But I just, yeah, my life isn't perfect. I do have a really great life, but there are things that I struggle with as well, and I think everyone struggles with things, so yeah. Okay, let's get a little bit more lighthearted. It's okay, we're all okay. Okay, next assumption, you started drinking and smoking at a young age. I guess I did. I think I actually smoked my first cigarette before I ever got drunk, to be honest. I think I smoked cigarettes for a couple of months there when I was 14, because my best friend Helena like got these cigarettes, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I was really into Tumblr at that time, so I thought I was like really edgy, and I would like take photos of myself smoking. Oh my god, I just could cringe so hard. Basically, after a couple of months we ran out, and then we were like, this is getting really expensive, because cigarettes are super expensive in Australia if you didn't know. So I smoked for a little bit, and then I didn't anymore. And the first time I got drunk I was 15. And it was with Helena again, and then one of our friends, Iris, and we shared a bottle of vodka, so that was a great experience. I guess that's young. Is it young? I think so. Next assumption, this kind of ties in with the last one. You've done lots of drugs. I actually haven't. I have smoked weed maybe like 3 or 4 times. Not the biggest fan. I don't know, it's not really that amazing. I didn't mind it, didn't love it. No, I haven't done any other drugs. I've drank alcohol and I've smoked cigarettes, and that's it. I'm not really interested in trying out any other drugs. Well, sometimes I go, maybe that would be fun, and then I go, I already have panic attacks without drugs, and I already go down a dark spiral without them. So no, but basically I'm too much of a pussy to do them, to be honest. Like I'm just too scared that I would start thinking about all the wrong things, and I just don't think it's for me. You got a high ATAR. Yeah, I guess I did. So I didn't do the HSC, I did the IB, which is the International Baccalaureate, which killed me. I think I cried every single day during the last couple months of IB, but that's okay. That's another time that we don't like to think about. I got 36 points, which I think is a 95 ATAR, so I guess it's pretty good. You always feel like your prime body slash fitness was in early 2015. I actually don't. I did for a little while there when I first gained some weight. So if you guys haven't been following me for that long, I used to be a lot skinnier. Wait, let me look up when this actually was. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking, my thinnest. I'll include some photos for you guys. To be honest, I don't look back to that and go, oh my god, I wish I looked like that again. I did for a little while. When I first gained some weight, I was like terrified, and I was like, oh my god, why am I not like this anymore? I want to be like that again. I think I was happy during that time, but I was, I think, on the verge of becoming obsessed. Like, I was eating so clean, exercising pretty much twice a day. I never had any cheat meals. To be honest, I don't want to look like this again. I do want to tone up a little bit. I wouldn't mind losing a little bit of weight, but I actually like having some curves. Like, I love having a butt now, and I have a little bit of boob now. They're still very small, but I have a little bit, and I feel like now you can actually see that I have a smaller waist and I'm a little bit curvy, and I actually like that. And I look back at this and I go, this is just a different period of my life, and I was very different. And you know, I was like 15, 16 during that time, so I think, you know, you're bound to change so much from that age to 20. So I don't look back at this and feel bad or feel like I need to be that again or anything like that. I just go, this was just a different chapter, and I like how I look now. You're very welcoming to new people in your life and like to meet new people. I am very welcoming, but I also can tell pretty quickly if I like someone or not. And if I don't like someone, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be rude or never, but I feel like I can tell pretty quickly if I have things in common with someone, if we're kind of on the same wavelength. And if I feel like there's nothing really there, then I'm not gonna spend too much time on that person. I'm still gonna be very friendly and, you know, kind always, but I feel like we do have limited time, and you kind of have to decide who you want to spend that on. So I am very welcoming. I love meeting new people, but that doesn't mean that I instantly go, oh my god, we're BFFs now, everyone's my BFF. Like, I'm not one of those people. You don't have many friends. I guess it depends what you mean by many. I think I have a few really close ones. And then I do have a bunch of people that I'm friends with as well, but I wouldn't say that I'm super close with them. Like, I wouldn't trust them with just anything. Like, there's a few people in my life and I know that I could talk to them about anything. And then there's other people that I really enjoy spending time with and I really appreciate the friendship, but it's just not on the same level. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But overall, I guess I don't have too many friends, because whenever my birthday comes around, I'm like, maybe I should have a party this time. Okay, like a good party, 50 people, and then I go, oh shit, like I actually don't really know 50 people that I would want at my birthday. Like, I don't know how people have these massive parties. I think it's because I went to a really small school as well, so I never grew up with like a massive friend group, but yeah. You don't spend a lot of time with your family. Again, I guess it depends what you mean by a lot. I think for a 20-year-old who has moved out, I think I do spend a lot of time with them. I see my parents and family at least once a week, if not twice. I talk to my mom quite a lot. A lot of your day is centered around health and fitness. I don't think so. I think I go through waves where I am being really healthy and like fit, but even then, if I'm at my best, it's like an hour of exercise a day. I make 3 healthy meals, but I do really quick ones. Like, I don't take an hour to cook or anything like that, and then that's about it. And maybe I'll go to the sauna twice a week, and that's all the fitness, which I don't think is that much. And then some weeks I don't go to the gym. I order takeout like every day, so yeah. You're an introvert. I think so, because I love being by myself, can be by myself for a long time. I love being by myself at home. I love going shopping by myself. That's like my favorite thing to do. I obviously love being with my friends as well. I love meeting new people. I love being social, but it drains me. I do have to say that. It drains me. Like, when I come home from an event or even a party, or sometimes even going to lunch with someone that I really love, I'll come home and be like, Just need an hour to myself. Whereas other people, I think, thrive off being social. The one exception is Kel, my boyfriend. I can spend so much time with him and I never get tired of it. It never exhausts me, and he really is probably the one exception. You drink and go out a lot. I don't think so. I probably drink alcohol twice a week, but I don't get drunk twice a week. Like, I'll have 2 gin and tonics, or I'll have a glass of wine with dinner, and then really getting tipsy / drunk, like having lots of drinks, going out once a month, like, is probably the most. Like, it's probably not even once a month, but I don't go out every weekend or something like that. It's way too exhausting. You totally believe in astrology, even if it's just for fun. I don't believe in it, to be honest. I like to get into it sometimes because I think it is fun, and I don't shit on anyone who does believe in it. I do think that there are a lot of Scorpio qualities that apply to me in a scary way, but you know, scientifically, I just don't believe that the way the stars were aligned when you were born, you know, affect your personality to that extent. And I don't agree with people going, oh, sorry that I was a bitch, like I'm a Gemini, I can't help it, you know, like that's, no, you were just a bitch. You like to keep your relationship private from Instagram. Yes, I think some people don't even know that I'm in a relationship. So Kel and I have been together for almost 4 years, and I love him so much, and we are really happy and we get along so well, we live together. But I do like to keep it private because it's nice to just have something to myself. I also think that being really public about your relationship can put unnecessary pressure on it, and I don't necessarily want to be that, like, oh, couple goals. It's just not my thing. It kind of makes me cringe. I do want to have Kel on my channel at some point. I want to do some videos with him. You can be a bitch if you need to be and put someone in their place. Yes, I think so. I was actually talking to someone about this last night, that I can be very sensitive. I'm a very sensitive person. I'm very emotional. But if someone really pisses me off, if someone really does me wrong, I will, you know, I will confront them. I will cut them out of my life, and I will not feel bad about it. Like, if you genuinely do me wrong, or even worse, do one of my friends or family members wrong, that's not okay. And in that case, I'm not sensitive. I'm not scared of confrontation. I'm not scared of, you know, telling you what's wrong with what you did. I never scream at people. I'm not a screamer. I hate screaming. I never grew up with screaming around me. Like, my parents never fought, never screamed at each other, like nothing like that. So whenever people do scream, I'm like, ugh, that makes me want to cry. Kel and I have never yelled at each other. I've never yelled at one of my friends. I don't think I've ever yelled at someone except for my siblings, but even that, it's been a while. But yeah, so I won't like yell at someone and like curse at them or something, but I'll sit them down and be like, you are a horrible person for doing this. Oh, this is interesting. You're more like your mum than your dad. I am closer with my mum at the moment, I would say, but I think I have more personality traits from my dad. My dad is very sensitive, very loving and affectionate, and he gets super emotional after like one glass of wine. He will stand there and have a speech about how much he loves us and how lucky he feels and all that stuff, and I'm exactly the same. I get so emotional. We went to see La La Land when it first came out. I went with my parents, Kel, and then my brother, and both dad and I were like weeping, like crying throughout the whole thing. It was so funny because I kept looking over at him and he was crying, I was crying. I was like, that's where I get it from. You and Kel don't have sex. Well, I'm a Scorpio, so yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. You had braces as a kid? No, I actually didn't. I had Invisalign, which I guess is kind of the same thing. I had Invisalign done when I was 15, I want to say, 14, 15. They're not super perfect. I do have like a I keep trying to show you guys my teeth, but I'm talking at the same time. I do have a wire at the top and bottom behind my teeth, like just a permanent little one, but they have kind of gone back a little bit to what they were before Invisalign. When I first had Invisalign done right after, they looked perfect. It was like perfectly aligned, and now some of them have, I keep trying to do this, some of them have like twisted a little bit again, but they're definitely a lot better than before. Deutsche Sport is beste Sport. True, I miss German bread so much. It's so cheap and it's so good, like so good. You actually swear like a sailor but try to hide it in your videos. I do swear a lot. I don't think I try to hide it. I think I try to lower it a little bit. I swear in my videos, but not as much as I probably do in real life. You don't like Germany. Not true. So I was born in Germany, if you guys don't know. My parents are also German and we moved here when I was 10. I'm from Düsseldorf. I was born in Hamburg, but my parents always loved moving around. But most of the time that I remember actually growing up was in Düsseldorf, and that's where we always go back to and visit, and that's where my parents are moving back to next year. No, this year, fuck, it's 2019. But no, I really, really like Germany. I don't know if I'd want to live there right now, but I really love being there. I love being in Düsseldorf. Berlin's really fun. Hamburg is gorgeous, so I actually love Germany. You struggle with your height even though you look just perfect. Thank you. I always used to be the tallest girl in school, and in school I definitely struggled with it up until like year 10 maybe. Before then I was always a bit insecure about it, and then I really started liking it, and I still love being tall, but I wish I was like a little bit taller. I'm around 175 centimeters. I wish I was like 180, even 185. I really love tall women. I think it's beautiful and it's so powerful to have like such a good presence. You want kids? Yes, I do. I want 2 kids, ideally a boy first and then a girl. We've planned it all out. That's our ideal scenario. You crave sweet over salty treats. I actually always need both. Whenever I have something sweet, I want something salty immediately afterwards, and whenever I have a salty treat, I want something sweet immediately afterwards. So normally when I go and buy snacks or go and buy treats, I'll have to get both. I'll get like a packet of chips and a chocolate bar. I rarely just get one of them. I always need both, which is just great for my body. You're proud of being bilingual. Yes, I definitely am, even though it's not really something that I like worked for super hard. I was kind of forced to be bilingual because obviously I grew up speaking German and then we moved to Australia, so had to learn English, and that's why I'm bilingual. But I am happy that I'm bilingual, and I do think it's really cool, and I think it opens up a lot of doors, and there's also a lot of studies on how it like affects your brain and how it makes other things easier and that kind of thing. So I would actually love to be fluent in a 3rd language, if not 4th. I'd love to be fluent in French. That's kind of the next language that I want to learn. I'd love to learn Russian. It's so random. I'll probably never do it, but I'd love to be able to speak Russian. I feel like it's such a sick language, and Russia overall fascinates me. I'd love to go there, but the language I think is so cool. It's such a cool party trick to go somewhere and be like, I speak Russian, like what are you gonna do about it, you know? You are atheist. I don't know, I'm not. I am, what's the other word? Is it agnostic? While I don't believe in God specifically, I do believe that there's some kind of higher power out there, and I do believe as well that after we die, something else happens. Maybe that's wishful thinking because I don't want it all to just end and be for nothing. And maybe that's the way it is. I'm just kind of more like, I don't know, like maybe there is a God, maybe there's a higher power. I'm not like, no, there's nothing and we just die and there's like just nothing. Wow, I explained that really well. You are low-key bi. Sometimes I think so. I've talked about this before, how I've never been with a girl, but I am very attracted to girls sometimes, and I do think about what it would be like to like get with a girl, and I do think that would be nice sometimes, but I can't see myself being in a romantic relationship with a girl. Maybe it's just because I've never experienced it. Obviously it's also because I'm with Kel, but I think it's more so just the sexual side, and I'm also, oh, this is getting very personal, but I'm not 100% in it, just like a few things, and then I'm like, this is too much, but this sounds kind of fun, you know? Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this video here because I've been filming for over an hour. This is gonna be fun to edit. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're still here, thank you for watching this whole thing. Thank you if you sent any assumptions, and yeah, I hope that maybe you learned a little bit about me. I hope that you kept an open mind, and yeah, I'm so scared to upload this video. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!